Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking into a really compelling and ultimately tragic story. It's about love, loss, and this incredible, relentless pursuit of justice by a family just shattered by grief.
It really is an extraordinary case.
Our story starts in Southampton, England, back in 2003. Now, this was seen as a pretty safe, friendly city, and it was home to Hannah Foster. She was 17, bright, kind, an A-level student. She actually dreamt of becoming a doctor, driven by this real desire to help people.
And cases like Hannah's, there's such a stark, really painful reminder of how fragile our sense of safety can be, even in places we know well. The impact on families is just unimaginable.
Absolutely. So let's go back to that night, March 14, 2003. It was Friday. Hannah was out with a friend, just a casual hangout. They went to a pub called The Hobbit, and then another place nearby, Soul Bar.
Okay.
Now, around 11:50 p.m., so nearly midnight, they decided it was time to head home. Hannah, being a good friend, walked her mate to the bus stop nearby. And after her friend got on the bus, Hannah started walking home alone from Soul Bar. It was only about 800 meters. A walk she must have done countless times, felt totally safe doing.
You'd think so, yeah.
But somewhere along that short, familiar path,
Yeah.
something awful happened. Hannah just vanished, completely without a trace.
And that's the chilling part, isn't it? That perception of safety in everyday places, how quickly it can just be shattered. It's often not about the place itself, but that specific, terrible moment of opportunity for a predator.
Yeah, exactly. So the next morning, Saturday, March 15th, around 5 a.m., a family member noticed Hannah wasn't home. Sent her a text, no reply. That's when the worry really started. By 10:30 a.m., her parents, Hilary and Trevor Foster, they knew. This wasn't just her staying out late. Hannah was missing. They called the police straight away.
And the police response sounds like it was immediate.
It was. They acted really swiftly, started gathering info, focusing on Soul Bar, her planned route home. Officers began canvassing the area, knocking on doors along that 800-meter walk.
Standard procedure, but crucial.
But they found nothing. No witnesses, no leads. It was like she just disappeared into thin air.
And that's where those golden hours become so critical in missing person cases. Every hour that passes, statistically, the chances of finding someone safe decrease significantly. That immediate police action, the canvassing, it's vital.
But then the investigation took a really chilling turn. The police started tracking Hannah's mobile phone signal.
Okay.
And what they found was startling. The signal was moving fast, suggesting her phone, and presumably Hannah was in a vehicle.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But here's where it gets incredibly disturbing. They discovered Hannah had actually managed to dial 999, the UK emergency number, right around midnight when she disappeared.
She called for help.
She tried. The operator who took the call reported hearing only movement like rustling or background noise, but no speech.
Right.
Now, standard procedure then, if there's no response after 30 seconds, an automated message prompts the caller. Press 55 if you need help but can't speak.
And did she?
No. Hannah didn't press 55. So the operator, thinking it was just a pocket dial or a misdial, logged it and closed the call.
That's heartbreaking. And that really exposes a potential flaw, doesn't it? I mean, how would someone being abducted even know about the 55 prompt or be physically able to press it? It highlights the limits when a caller literally cannot respond.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the police didn't dismiss the call. They decided to do a forensic analysis of the audio, the background noise on that 999 call.
Smart move.
And they heard something. Faintly, in the background, they could make out voices. Specifically, a man's voice with what they described as an older South Asian accent telling Hannah to bow your head.
Oh my God.
The implication was immediate and terrifying. This wasn't just a missing person case anymore. It confirmed their worst fears. Hannah had been abducted.
Wow. That audio analysis, turning what could have been dismissed as noise into the first concrete proof of abduction. That's incredible forensic work. It completely shifted the focus of the investigation.
It did. And now they were racing against that critical 48-hour window. Then, another ping from Hannah's phone around 5 a.m. on Sunday, March 16th, this time near Portsmouth.
Portsmouth, that's a fair distance from Southampton.
Yeah, about 36 kilometers, maybe a 30-minute drive. Police started scouring CCTV along the likely routes between the two cities. They managed to identify a suspicious vehicle, a white or silver van.
Okay, a potential lead vehicle.
But then, later that same day, March 16th, the worst possible news. Hannah's body was found, dumped in some bushes in West End, which is tragically only about 15 minutes from Southampton city center.
Oh no, that's the devastating reality in so many of these cases, isn't it? If they're not found quickly in those initial hours. the outcome is often tragic.
The postmortem revealed the horrific details. Hannah had been brutally raped while she was still alive and then strangled to death.
Unbelievable cruelty.
They found semen on her clothes. DNA analysis was done immediately, but there was no match in the police database.
That's a major hurdle. It means the attacker likely had no prior record or wasn't in the system for some other reason, perhaps being a foreign national. The DNA is powerful evidence, but without a match, it doesn't give you a name.
Exactly. It made the search so much harder. But for Hannah's parents, Hilary and Trevor, even in their unimaginable grief, their resolve just solidified. They were going to find who did this.
That determination is understandable, but just finding that strength, it's immense.
The investigation pushed forward. Then, another breakthrough, maybe a mistake by the killer. Hannah's bag and her phone were found. They'd been discarded at a recycling center.
Suggests panic, maybe. Trying to get rid of evidence quickly?
Probably. So police released the CCTV images of that suspect van to the public, appealing for information. And it worked.
A public tip-off.
Yes. An anonymous tip led them to a company called Hazelwood Foods. They delivered sandwiches, and their vans matched the description. And the company gave them something crucial. They said one of their male employees had shown up for work the day after Hannah vanished, March 15th, with fresh scratches on his face.
Scratches? Okay, that's significant.
He'd also left work early that day, complaining of back pain. And, critically, he drove one of the vans matching the suspect vehicle's description. His name was Maninder Pal Singh Kohli.
Wow. That's how it often happens, isn't it? Public cooperation combined with those seemingly small details, the scratches, leaving early it all starts to build a picture.
Absolutely. So police dug into Kohli. He was 41, born in India, moved to Southampton in 93. He was married, an arranged marriage, had 2 kids.
Right.
They got a warrant to test his van. And the forensics came back conclusive. Hannah's blood, Kohli's semen, it was him.
Solid proof.
But when the police went to arrest him, he was gone. His whole family was missing too.
He fled.
He did. His wife turned up later. She told police Kohli had suddenly flown back to India, claiming his mother was seriously ill. It was a lie, of course. He'd bolted just 4 days after Hannah's disappearance.
And that's where it gets incredibly complicated. An international manhunt. Different jurisdictions, extradition treaties, or lack thereof. It adds layers and layers of difficulty.
Totally. UK police immediately contacted the India authorities, sent all the evidence, the warrant, everything. They urged them to find and arrest Kohli.
So cooperation was requested straight away.
Yes, but then nothing. 15 months dragged by. 15 months with no real action from the Indian side.
15 months? Yeah. That's a long time for no progress.
It was incredibly frustrating. Rumors started swirling. Maybe Kohli's family had connections, paid someone off. His older brother was apparently a high-ranking police officer in Delhi.
Potential interference. That's a common suspicion in these situations.
Yeah. Or maybe, some speculated, the police in India were just overwhelmed with their own crime rates, maybe desensitized. Whatever the reason, nothing was happening.
And these diplomatic and legal hurdles in extradition cases can be immense, especially if there's any hint of local influence, political or personal. It becomes a real test of international justice systems.
Hannah's parents, Hilary and Trevor, they just couldn't stand it. They couldn't just sit and wait while their daughter's killer was free. So they did something extraordinary.
What did they do?
On July 10, 2004, they used their own money and flew to India themselves.
Wow. They went there personally.
They did. Their mission was clear. Pressure the Indian authorities face-to-face, talk to independent groups, launch a Justice for Hannah campaign right there in India. They even put up their own reward money for information leading to Kohli's capture.
That is just incredible determination. Faced with grief, bureaucracy, international borders, they took direct action. It's an amazing example of parental love and advocacy. That kind of personal pressure can sometimes achieve what official channels can't.
And incredibly, it worked. Their presence, their campaign, it generated huge publicity in India, and that led to the breakthrough.
Someone came forward.
Yes. A taxi driver named Jason Leitch. He saw the campaign, recognized the photos. He knew Kohli, but not as Kohli. Kohli had been using an alias.
Mike Dennis.
An alias, okay.
Yeah.
Kohli, or Mike Dennis's, had told this taxi driver he was a doctor from the UK, visiting because his mother was ill, the same lie he told his wife. And Jason noticed something else. Mike Dennis's always bought newspapers and seemed very interested in the headlines.
Checking if he was still in the news, if the hunt was still on.
Almost certainly. So the Foster strip, their direct appeal, It led straight to this vital piece of information. Without them going there, who knows if Leitch would ever have connected the dots.
It just shows the power of public awareness, doesn't it? And how one ordinary citizen, like that taxi driver, seeing that appeal can provide the key that unlocks everything. Small actions with huge consequences.
So no, the police had the alias, Mike Dennis, in a potential location. They discovered Mike Dennis's was actually working, posing as a doctor at a Red Cross center.
Posing as a doctor?
Yeah, unbelievably. Giving vaccines to children in this small community. But here's the critical part. This community was very close to the India-Nepal border.
Nepal. Okay, that's bad news for extradition, right?
Exactly. At the time, Nepal had no extradition treaty with the UK. If Kohli managed to slip across that border, he could potentially evade justice forever.
So they had to move fast and carefully.
Very carefully. They couldn't risk tipping him off. Delhi police worked covertly with the local police near the border. They set up surveillance around the home of a relative Kohli was staying with, which was just 30 minutes from the border crossing.
Cutting off his escape route.
They knew Kohli had changed his appearance, shaved his beard, maybe other changes. Local police got his description, and also that of a woman he was frequently seen with. Turns out it was his new wife, who only knew him as Mike Dennis.
He'd remarried under an alias.
Currently so. Then, on July 15, 2004, they got him. Police arrested Kohli and this new wife at a bus stop in Kalimpong. They were literally waiting to board a bus heading straight for Nepal.
Just in time. That's incredibly close. It really highlights how fragile international justice can be. One border crossing away from potential impunity, and the Red Cross. Serious questions must have been asked about their vetting process, letting a fugitive work there.
Absolutely. So he was caught. And initially, on July 28, 2004, during questioning, Kohli seemed cooperative. He even reportedly said he was tired of running.
So a quick confession then?
You'd think so, but no. Justice was still delayed. Remember his brother, the senior police officer in Delhi?
Yeah.
He intervened again. Claimed Kohli was being set up, framed. He used legal tactics, appeals, and Kohli himself started feigning illness, collapsing in court. Anything to delay extradition.
Or obstructions.
It dragged on for 3 more years. 3 years of legal battles while the Fosters waited. It just shows the immense toll these delays take, especially when there's suspected interference.
It really does raise those uncomfortable questions about influence within legal systems and how it can prolong the agony for victims' families who just want closure.
But finally, persistence paid off. On July 28, 2007, 4 years after Hannah was murdered, Kohli was extradited back to the UK to stand trial.
Finally.
At first in court, he spun this elaborate lie, claimed he'd been forced by a gang to get involved, forced to have sex with Hannah, that he was basically a victim too.
Trying to deflect blame.
Completely. But the evidence was overwhelming. Eventually, he confessed to the real story. He saw Hannah walking alone that night. He pulled her into his van. He raped her. And when she threatened to go to the police, he strangled her. Used his arm across her throat, his hand over her mouth and nose.
A full confession to the horrific reality.
Yeah. And chillingly, he even admitted he told his wife back then that he'd just found a body in the back of his van, pretending he had no idea how it got there.
It's a common pattern, isn't it? Those shifting narratives, trying desperately to minimize responsibility. But the forensic evidence, the DNA, it doesn't lie. It eventually corners them into the truth.
So the trial concluded. On November 25, 2008, more than 5 years after Hannah's death, Maninder Pal Singh Kohli was found guilty. Guilty of abduction, false imprisonment, rape, and murder.
Justice served, in court at least.
He was sentenced to life imprisonment, but with eligibility for parole after a minimum of 24 years.
24 years minimum.
Which means he could potentially be released as early as 2030. He'd be 63 years old.
And that release date must be incredibly difficult for the family.
It sparked outrage, both from the public and, understandably, Hannah's family. Their daughter's life, all her dreams of being a doctor, just brutally extinguished. And her killer might walk free relatively soon. That approaching date 2030, it must be a constant source of pain for the Fosters.
Sentencing is always so complex, trying to balance punishment, justice for the victim, and the possibility of rehabilitation. These decisions rarely feel completely right to everyone involved, especially in cases this devastating. It's that constant societal tension.
But amidst all this darkness, there's actually a really remarkable positive legacy that emerged from this case.
Oh.
Remember Jason Leitch, the taxi driver in India whose tip led to Kohli's capture?
Yes, the one who recognized Mike Dennis's.
He received the reward money the Fosters had offered, 367,000 Indian rupees. But what he did with it is just amazing.
What did he do?
He didn't keep it. He used the entire amount to build a school for underprivileged children in his area. He named it the Hannah Memorial Academy.
Wow. That's incredibly moving.
Isn't it? And Hannah's parents, Hilary and Trevor, they actually contribute to the school too. So Hannah's name, her spirit, it lives on. It's helping children, fulfilling that desire she had to help others, just in a different way.
That's a truly powerful example of how light can emerge from the deepest darkness. That even after such tragedy, acts of kindness and remembrance can create something positive and lasting. It's a testament to Jason Leitch's character and the enduring impact of Hannah and her family.
It really is. This deep dive into Hannah Foster's story, it's a stark reminder of the impact of violence, but also the incredible strength of family love and the lengths people will go to for justice. And it leaves us thinking, doesn't it, about how we define justice. How do we ensure the outcomes feel truly just for those who've lost everything, especially when legal sentences sometimes feel inadequate?
A profound question with no easy answers.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Please do take care, and we'll be back next time with another story to explore.